He is a strong supporter of environmental protection and has sponsored the board resolution committing James City County to a goal of 20% petroleum fuel reduction. James City County has been recognized as a leader in protecting water quality and preserving open space. John and the Board of Supervisors welcome ideas to further enhance our environmental quality. Help me welcome Professor and Supervisor John McGlennon.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks very much, and I'm delighted to be here with you this morning, and especially to salute your coming out when the weather is not optimal, but for a cause that's so important. I want to take just a second to especially recognize Chris Llewellyn for the role that she's played in publicizing and organizing this event. She is just a phenomenal organizer. For somebody who just sort of got excited about and passionate about this issue a few short weeks ago, it's remarkable how much she's been able to accomplish, how broadly she's been able to send the message, and I just know she's going to make tremendous contributions to this field. James City County is in fact committed to the goal of reducing hydrocarbon emissions and protecting our environment. We have, as part of our county's guiding documents, a strategic management plan which documents our goals and objectives and charts our progress. One of our strategic directions is to steward the natural environment and historical heritage. The county has taken proactive steps to lead by example in the areas of environmental and energy stewardship. Our programs are in the areas of fleet management, energy conservation, recycling, and green building design. These goals not only help us to protect our environment, but also help us to become less dependent on conventional and expensive sources of energy that are so destructive to our environment. Under fleet management, in 2004, as Chris alluded to, I was proud to take the step of introducing a resolution which our board unanimously adopted to reduce petroleum consumption by successfully moving to the adoption of a set of goals to reduce the county's petroleum usage by 20% by the year 2010. I'm proud to tell you today that we have already reduced our petroleum emissions by 6%. And by next year at this time, you'll note that we have reduced it by 11%. And by 2010, we will have exceeded our goal of 20% reduction in petroleum emissions. Since the resolution, we've purchased 41 alternate fuel vehicles, 28 E85 vehicles, and 15 hybrids, and 5 Segways that allow our county officials to not only save energy, but have more flexibility as they move around in their functions and their activities, whether it's reading utility meters or patrolling Newtown. In addition, we use synthetic oils to extend the life of our engines and extend oil change intervals to reduce the amount of petroleum used. These efforts have reduced our petroleum usage, as I've suggested, and are just an indication of the kinds of steps that we think are important, but just the first steps. Our efforts have been recognized by the National Alternative Fuel Association as a model for petroleum reduction. In October 2006, we earned the Leadership and Pioneer Efforts in Alternative Fuels Award from Virginia Clean Cities. In addition, during the inaugural Energy Independence Conference, James City County served as a leader and presenter for being stewards of the environment for petroleum reduction. Furthermore, in the July 2006 issue of Virginia Towns and Cities, James City County was featured in an article titled "James City County Realizes Benefits from Fuel Consumption Reduction," so that we can spread the word and encourage other cities, towns, and counties to adopt the same kinds of policies. On energy conservation, in fiscal year 2007, the Board of Supervisors approved converting James City County's part-time recycling coordinator to a full-time position as the environmental coordinator to promote and develop measurable goals for energy conservation and green building design. This includes reviewing existing energy operation demand, consumption, and supply. The county has taken measures to improve cost effectiveness of operations through renovation of buildings and replacing older light fixtures and HVAC compressors that are systems that are more energy efficient. The results are reduced emissions of sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and carbon dioxide, and a goal of net savings of 10%. Recycling. Since 1992, the county has provided to our citizens a curbside recycling program with 1,200 homes originally participating in the service. Today, we offer that recycling service to more than 20,000 homes. And the county recycles a variety of household materials such as bottles, cans, papers, cardboard, tire, oil, antifreeze, batteries, appliances, and yard waste to the tune of over 14 million pounds a year. And that's great. Our next step, of course, is to make sure that less gets into the waste stream to begin with by reusing materials that can be reused rather than having to recycle them at all. Green building design. James City County has always been a leader in protecting the environment during design and construction. When it comes to public infrastructure and facilities, our staff continues to look at ways of to build that are designed and constructed to promote public facilities that are environmentally responsible. As we move forward in buildings needed for public infrastructure, new schools, new police stations, library, and so forth, green building design will be considered to minimize impact on the environment and to promote energy efficiency. These design features will include reduced site disturbance, stormwater management, energy management, and material usage. And finally, in terms of our approvals of private development, we are increasingly requiring that those private developers include in their projects efforts to better manage stormwater, to reduce the impact of the development on the disturbance of land, and to construct buildings that take into account the latest standards in environmental and energy protection. So we think that we've made a number of positive steps, but we know that the purpose of today's effort is to encourage everyone, including James City County, to step it up. And that's what we want to do. We will shortly be beginning our comprehensive plan process. Every 5 years, cities and counties in Virginia are required to review their comprehensive plans, their blueprints for what their community should look like in the future. I want to challenge you today to participate in that process, and I will commit to you that I will ask that that process include a significant component of energy conservation and environmental stewardship that will ask our citizens to suggest ideas, to promote their own initiatives that will allow us to not only attain the goals that we've set, but to exceed those goals and to make sure that we reach the goal of 80% reduction by 2050. Thank you very much for the chance to be with you today. Thanks for coming out on such a nice, beautiful day in which we're really experiencing all kinds of the environment. And thanks to all of those who've organized this event.